Okay. Well, welcome everybody to the CUSD Virtual College Fair 2021. You are here for the West Showcase 7 p.m. time slot. So if you are here to learn more about schools on the West Coast or in the Western portion of the United States, you are in the right place. My name is Bea. I am a college and career counselor with Capistrano Unified School District and the Futureology team. Super excited to have all of you with us tonight. Before we get started, a couple housekeeping items for you. This presentation is being recorded. So if you have to excuse yourself early or you want to look at this later on, we will have a recording ready for you on our YouTube channel and on our College Fair page on our website as early as the end of this week, definitely by next week for all of you, okay? You're currently all muted, your cameras are off, so your job is to sit back and enjoy and soak in all of that good information, okay? If you have any questions, please use the Q&A function at the bottom or top of your screen, depending on what you're using. Go ahead and put your questions in the Q&A and we'll make sure to answer that as we go along or at the end, as we will have some time for Q&A at the end. You will be emailed a post survey after this evening. Feel free to fill that out to let us know how we're doing and how we might be able to improve for next year. We always want to make sure that we're doing what's best for our students, and we want to listen to what you have to say, okay? For the structure of tonight's showcase, you're going to be hearing from 6 different institutions, okay? And each school will be presenting for about 6 minutes per school. So this is just a nice, healthy chunk of schools, not too many, not too little, right? Just enough for you to get some additional information on schools maybe that you don't know much about, right? So please take note of what is interesting to you. Write down the contact information for reps if you want to have a more in-depth conversation with them after this evening. That's what they're here for. What you see in front of you is the order in which our presenters will be presenting to you this evening. So if you want to take a mental note of that, there it is. This is our list of presenters for this evening. We have some really amazing schools to share with you. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Tyler, our first presenter from Northern Arizona University.
Thank you, Bea. Thank you all for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. We can go to my first slide. My contact information there for you. I will post it in the chat at the end of the presentation as well. And I believe I can also send you some PDFs in addition to that, so you'll have something to take home with you. Next slide. I always like to start by talking about where we are, not only because it's important that you know where you're going to be calling home, but because we are not the traditional part of Arizona. When you generally think of Arizona, you think of a hot desert full of cactus, and that's a huge chunk of our state. Beautiful, no doubt, but we are not that part of Arizona. We are the cool part of Arizona, quite literally. We live at 7,000 feet at the base of the San Francisco Peaks and do get all 4 seasons. We'll get to experience snow, and at the same time, Flagstaff is the only city in Arizona to never hit 100 degrees. We are an outdoors-oriented community and university. We have 11 different national parks and monuments within a 3-hour drive, relatively easy to get to, between an 8 to 9 hour drive for you from where you're located. Or of course, you can fly into both Phoenix or Flagstaff. Flagstaff does have both United and American that fly directly. Next slide. At the university, we have about 100 different majors for you to choose from. I'm not going to go over all 100 of those, and I wouldn't even if we did have more than 6 minutes to talk to you. I just want you to know that we have plenty of options, and that about 1/3 of our students come in their freshman year as what we call exploratory or undecided, undeclared. Of all the things that you have to stress out about with college, what your exact major is should be pretty low on that list. We are the smallest public university in the state of Arizona, but we are not a small university. We still have over 21,000 students coming to us from all 50 states. 50% of our students are first-generation college students. 42% are students of color, including 25% who identify as Hispanic or Latinx, making us a Hispanic-serving institution. In addition, we have more than 100 different tribal nations represented through our student population. The university receives more than $60 million in research monies every single year. And because the vast majority of our students are undergraduate students, 100% of that money is available and accessible to our undergraduate students. Next slide, please. We are a very active, very vibrant community. We are a Division I school playing in the Big Sky Conference, with the exception of women's swimming and diving, which plays in the Western Athletic Conference. All home athletic events are free for you to attend. Your student ID is your ticket to each and every one of them. About 17% of our students are part of our Greek life system, or fraternity and sorority life. There are about 7,000 student jobs on campus and more than 400 different clubs and organizations. Another way, of course, to stay actively involved is through our residence life. We do not require that freshmen live on campus their first year, though it is strongly recommended. We have 23 different residence halls on campus, 12 of which are for our freshman students. We do use a residential college model, which means you won't have access to all 12 residence halls, as we try to put you in a residence hall based upon your major, so that you are living with other students who have the same or similar academic interests. Slide, please. The application process to NAU is very simple and straightforward. We are a rolling admissions university, which means lots of different things, but a couple of important for you to know is that while we don't really have a deadline for application until May 1st, we strongly recommend that you apply sometime during your fall semester. This will help to ensure you do not miss any other priority dates or deadlines. We do not compare your application against anybody else's application, but instead we compare it to the standards that we've set forth, and if you meet those standards, you're admitted. We do not need a letter of recommendation or an essay or even test scores. Instead, we look at how well you did in your primary academic courses in high school, or what we refer to as your core courses. These are similar, but not identical to the California A through G requirements. And you can see the 16 courses there on the left-hand side of your screen. If you have not already applied to NAU, as a thank you for coming to our presentation tonight, please take note of that application fee waiver code, #NAU. That will waive the $25 application fee. Next slide, please. As a student from California, if you are admitted to Northern Arizona University, you will automatically receive the Western Undergraduate Exchange or WUI tuition rate. This is not in-state tuition, but it is still a savings of nearly $10,000 a year, taking your tuition rate to about the $16,000 mark. No separate application, no test score requirement, no GPA minimum, no cap on the number of students who can receive WUI, and every major is eligible. From California, you're admitted to NAU, you receive WUI. In addition to that, though, you could be eligible for either the Blue or the Gold scholarship. To receive the Blue scholarship, worth an additional $5,000 per year, you need to have between a 3.0 and a 3.49 recalculated GPA. That's it. To get the Gold scholarship, worth an additional $6,000 per year, you need to have a 3.5 or higher. No separate application for these scholarships were automatically considered based on your GPA when you apply. I believe that's my last slide, but even if it's not, I am out of time. So thank you all so much for attending, and I will pass it off to the next representative.
There we go. How's everyone doing tonight? Hope well, as you won't respond. But my name is Ryan. I'm an admissions counselor here with the Los Angeles College of Music, and we are a small music conservatory located in Pasadena, California. I do say small as our total student body is about a little over 300 total students, pursuing one of 10 conservatory programs that we offer here on campus. Next slide, please. So as you can read there, the LACM mission statement is LACM is an incubator for limitless creativity, discovery-based music education, connecting innovative curriculum and industry relationships. I think honestly that just boils down to the Los Angeles College of Music is a place where students are able to make the industry connections that they'll need, as well as learn both the technical skills in order to succeed in today's music industry. We've been consistently ranked amongst the best music conservatories here in the United States, and most recently, our music business program has been recognized as one of the top schools, which we're super proud of. Next slide, please. So I just wanted to go over some of the highlights of our programs. As I mentioned, there are 10 ranging from performance to non-performance. In our performance realm, we offer bass, brass, and woodwinds, drum performance, guitar, piano/keyboard, and vocal. You get weekly private lessons in your instrument, and you will be putting on recitals both in your junior and senior year. But every quarter on campus, you will be part of an ensemble of different members of different majors and always focus on a different style and genre of music. When I say that we are a contemporary school, we focus on genres and styles ranging from jazz to what you're hearing in popular music today and what's on the radio, everything in between. So rock and roll, funk, soul, gospel, world music, and all of that. So it's a really, really exciting place to be. Next slide, please. So for our music producing and recording program, which is another one outside of the performance realm, we do have a heavy focus around Pro Tools. We find it's the industry standard of what's used in the music industry today. So we want our students to learn that. But you'll find coursework in Ableton, Live, Logic, and other kind of digital audio workstations as well, as we know there's plenty of them out there. This program is really, really hands-on. We have 2 studios on campus that students are able to use for their work, outside of their class time, which will be taught in them as well. And the programs focus on everything from recording live sound, both in a concert setting to in a studio, ranging on how to use all the technology, the software, where to put the mics, everything you could possibly think of, including DJ and beat making, things like that. I did want to say for all of our majors too, we offer both a bachelor's and an associate degree. The highest level difference there being within your Associate of Arts degree program, you won't be taking any of your general education classes. All of your coursework will be just focused around music and music industry studies. We also offer a composing for visual media program. And within that, students are learning how to apply sound to your moving images, so your film scores, television shows, video games, and the like. Next slide, please. 2 of our other programs here on campus are songwriting as well as music business programs. Songwriting is personally one of my favorites. You get to put on a showcase every quarter that you're on campus, ranging in different styles. For example, in your first quarter, it could be a guitar vocal showcase, which is just you on stage performing your original works, or in the next quarter, it could be an original band where it's your responsibility to formulate a band to showcase off your original works. All of these showcases are put on in front of industry professionals that we'll bring in to come give our students critique and feedback, with real world notes about what they're looking for. So we bring on A&R reps and the like to come give our students some real feedback. All of our faculty too are current working professionals in the industry, which we're super proud of. So our students are learning what it's like to live and breathe as a musician today and how to succeed and navigate that. Next slide, please. I just wanted to highlight some of the success we've seen here at LACM. It's a pretty diverse range. We've had students go on to co-write songs with really well-known artists such as Avicii and Kygo, or be featured performers on shows like American Idol, The Voice, or go on to have successful touring careers with artists like Hayley Kiyoko, or be on recorded albums with Nick Jonas and John Legend, or even Snoop Dogg. So pretty diverse on where our students are being exposed to. And being in the heart of the music industry here in Los Angeles, in Pasadena, there's no really shortage of opportunities like this. I believe this is my last slide, but I just did want to touch on a couple other points while I have a minute or so. Our application process is all done through our website. It's a place where you'll upload all of your audition materials as opposed to SAT scores and ACT. We just require an audition for entrance, so no scores there, and we'll require your high school transcript as well. For any scholarship opportunities, we both award academic scholarships, and those will come in the form of students who have 3.0 GPAs or higher, or merit scholarships, which are just based on your audition material that you submit with your application. Again, my name is Ryan. My email address is just ryan@lacm.edu. If you have any follow-up questions that I can answer for you at all, happy to help. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for being here, folks. Hola, amigos. Gary B. Go ahead to the next slide. I'm going to talk about where I went to college. And remember 3 things tonight: mountains, majors, money, and 3 letters, UNM. So on the next slide, B, we'll talk about UNM, University Not Close to Mom. Students, you're leaving home and going away to Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I know when I say Albuquerque, New Mexico, you started thinking either High School Musical, Breaking Bad, or the desert, flat and hot. We're not. We're in the Rocky Mountains. So remember, UNM, University next to mountains. We're actually the same elevation as Denver. And so now you're thinking UNM, University nearly a mile high. Yes, we get snow. UNM, usually not much, but more than you get in South Orange County. How much snow? -3. You like snow? New Mexico, we get snow. There you go. 20 minutes from a ski resort, snowboard, skiing, fun. There you are. Now let's go to the next slide and talk about majors. UNM, University of Numerous Majors. UNM, University for Nursing and Medicine. UNM, University with a number of management programs. UNM, University from nuclear to mechanical and every other kind of engineering. Netflix is headquartered in Albuquerque for production. So now you're thinking UNM, University for Netflix movies. That's right, come do that. Maybe you don't know what you want to study. Well, just remember UNM, undecided no more, come explore, options galore, we'll open the door to something you're looking for. Housing, UNM, University nice as a Marriott. Yes, one of my sponsors when I'm traveling, and pandemic's almost waned enough to where I'm back on the road. Hey, dining, UNM, unlimited number of meals, one plan, one price, that's nice. Speaking of dough to help you go, on the next slide, let's talk about UNM. You need money, we've got scholarship. The minute you apply for admission, and students, you can apply any time. We do rolling admission. And seniors, I say get rolling on applying. You'll be admitted in 2 weeks or less, not committed. Admitted means you don't need to decide, UNM. Apply today, decide next May. That's the way to play. I say we don't require an ACT or SAT. You've built a strong performance in the classroom resume. So when you apply to a school, and we don't need an essay, you've already said, I want to go to this school. Why? Mountains, majors, and now I'll show you the dough to help you go. Let's go to the next slide and talk about the scholarship. 2 clicks for me, B. We are part of the WUI, the Western Undergraduate Exchange. So students, as I said before, UNM, you need money, 2.8's great, 3.0 will get you even more dough to help you go. You're going to go on our website. We don't use the Common App. We use the Uncommon, our own application. And when you're on that application, it's going to take less than 20 minutes. What you'll do is you'll enter your courses, you'll self-report your grades. And if you've taken the ACT, SAT, you can report that, but we don't need that. We're going to do a quick review. Did you do the California A through G? Well, heck yeah, or you wouldn't be here tonight. English, math, social science, natural science, language other than English. You are college ready. Students, there's 500,000 high school seniors in California. New Mexico saying, hey, we'll definitely give you the opportunity to get where you want to go in life. On this next slide, you'll see the exact cost. I'm not hiding any secrets today. Seniors, apply, get admitted. Your bottom line, how much COA, what will you really pay? Only $20K. As long as you have a 3.0 GPA, and this renews every year, $9,000 for tuition, $10,000 for housing and dining, that's on campus and all you can eat 24/7, books, a whole enchilada, sorry, I know it's dinner time and I'm from New Mexico, is $20K. That's all you pay. Let's go to the next slide and give the students and parents an opportunity to look me up on YouTube. I think there's one more slide, isn't there, B? If not,
You know what, Gary? I don't have another slide.
okay, well, good. We'll just stay on this one and show them the dough to help them go. Seniors, you can apply now. I'll tell you how. Do it online. It'll save you time. Use your phone. Do it at home. Either way, just go do it today. Then email me, Gary B, and I waive the fee and make it free. You'll enter your courses. You'll put in your grades. I don't need an ACT, SAT test, and I'll still do the rest. Remember, 2.8's great. 3.0 gets you more dough. You got a 4, you really score. Don't be a fool. Stay in school. It's cool. Go to college. Get the nods. Gary B, remember me when you're making that list. UNM, University not to be missed. And just for B, I'll dab out. All right, well, thanks for being here. We're going to turn it over to the next presenter. We'll keep this rolling. Adios, amigos.
All right. Hello and welcome. So my name is Fernando. I'm with the University of Alaska Anchorage. I'm afraid I don't rhyme quite as much as Gary B, but I'll be first talking a little bit about our location over in Anchorage. You can see we're kind of in that little square area on the south western portion of Alaska, or central southwest. We are actually located in the largest city in the state of Alaska. We have approximately 300,000 people in the area. That's again a largest city, but we do like calling it a bit of a urban wild mix, so to speak, where we really have a mix of, you know, a pretty large urban environment with very accessible, you know, outdoor activities. You have over 100 miles of trails for hiking and biking, more national parks than any other state. And we're among the top campuses for places like skiing, snowboarding, snowshoeing, fishing. We have a lot of really cool activities, including some like you can actually take as one of your physical education classes, dog mushing, little things like that that are really interesting over here in Alaska. Then on campus, we have about 11,000 students, so about a mid-sized institution, but we do have that split up amongst our various programs. So we offer everything from occupational endorsement certificates, so certificate programs, associates, bachelor's, master's, all the way to doctoral programs. So we have a lot of students taking a lot of different courses with us. We still maintain a 15-to-1 student faculty ratio, so that means a lot of your classes are still going to be, especially in your major, pretty small. That, you know, you might get some little, you know, larger classes at the start of your career. As you can, you know, kind of move along, you're really going to start getting a lot more smaller classes and a lot more one-on-one time with professors. We've also been ranked #1 in return on long-term investment amongst our peer institutions by the Center on Education and Workforce. So our students are coming back and telling us they've had a great experience with us, and it's really paying off long-term. Next slide, please. We also have really great and active student clubs and Greek life, over 100 different student clubs on campus, as well as a really active USUAA student government. We have both Division 1 and 2 sports, so a lot of really great activities on campus for you to either participate in or just go and enjoy, since it is free for all students who are taking 6 or more credits, and also a really awesome internationally ranked debate team that's competing you know, all the time in really wonderful and accessible ways. Next slide, please. This slide has a lot of our academic interests, kind of in area, kind of our largest areas. This aren't all of our academic offerings, but just some of them. So I know, like business, the one I really like highlighting, because we have really good opportunities for students both to connect with businesses here in Anchorage, since again, being the largest city in the state of Alaska, but then also to connect them with, you know, different businesses all over the US as well, for whether it be internships, co-ops, or those sorts of things, to really get your foot in the door in a lot of these different industries. Engineering is one I also really love highlighting, because over the past 5 years, they've had a 100% placement rate. And I know last year, 74% of their graduates had a job offer before even graduating. So they were already getting in the door on a lot of those really high paying engineering jobs. And one more thing for engineering, of those graduates, 30% of them had 3 or more job offers. So they were really doing fantastic work at really getting their students well prepared for kind of that next step in their career. And then health science and professions, we are literally across the street from the largest hospital in the state of Alaska. So we are really Alaska's health science campus, getting a lot of our students prepared either for, you know, through our nursing programs, or going on to, you know, eventually going to medical school through many of our, you know, biological science programs and things like that. On to the next slide, please. It's really important to also talk about cost and affordability. So we do offer WUI tuition for all students from California. So you are free to use this. You don't need any specific GPA or testing requirement. There's no limit on how many can utilize this. So tuition fees is about $9,000, just under $10,000 a year. Room and board is there. We don't require you to live on campus, but we do recommend it, especially your first year when you're just getting here to Alaska from so far away. But again, that WUI tuition does save you a lot of money over our non-resident tuition. And there's also opportunities for in-state tuition if you either are going into the military, or you're a military dependent, or if you are a lineal descendant of an Alaska resident, like a parent or grandparent is living in Alaska, you would also get in-state tuition. On to the next slide, please. We also have really cool ways for you to really get, expand your horizons even more. A lot of study abroad programs that go all over the world, over 100 different countries that we can send you to, and also semester away with national student exchange. We can send you to over 150 different institutions throughout the United States. It's a really cool way for you to study, or even say, take some time to go, closer to home for a little bit for a semester or an academic year while paying either ROE tuition or the in-state tuition of the institution that you're going for, whichever is lower, and really get a really cool experience that way. And next slide, please. Then the final slide, a really awesome thing that we have our residence life, so our housing options. We have suite style residence halls. So every single person, every single student living on campus gets your own bedroom. So that thing on the right that you see, that's all yours. You have a door that you can close. So give you some really nice privacy, and you only have to share your bathroom with your suite mate, so the person kind of to your across from you, to your right or to your left, and you have your shared living space with 2 other suite mates as well. So it's a very nice and private area for you. It's one flat cost and really close to campus, really walkable. And with that, I will leave you with our application is free and online and on our website. And I hope you apply to UAA. I will pass it along to our friends a little further north at UAF.
Hey everybody, my name is Andrew. I'm the Regional Admissions Counselor at University of Alaska Fairbanks. Like Fernando said, we're a little bit further north. There's going to be some repeat from what our friends at UAA said, but I'll try to mix up a little bit, tell you a little bit about my alma mater, University of Alaska Fairbanks. I'm originally from Ohio, so I'm an out-of-state student myself. I know how expensive it can seem to go to school out of state, but like a lot of the schools here, we're actually fairly affordable, especially with that WUI scholarship. Yeah, let's go on to the next slide, B. So why UAF? We are the nation's Arctic University. We're a world leader in climate change and Arctic research. We are a traditional college experience, a very community-based college experience. Most of our students live on campus, and we are located in the farthest north US city. We receive over $100 million in research funding annually, but because we have a relatively small student body, that's a lot of funding and resources coming in for not that many students. So that means you're gonna have a lot of opportunities to get involved in research, find those places in labs, apply to those internships, travel throughout Alaska and out of the state to conferences, etc. We are Alaska's only land, sea, and space grant university. That's a somewhat rare triple crown. That means we essentially get funding in all 3 of those fields. And we provide a hands-on learning experience in the vast dynamic laboratory that is Alaska. We've got volcanoes, earthquakes, permafrost, glaciers, snow and ice, everything you can imagine. So it's a really, really exciting, different experience up in Alaska. Next slide, B. So just some numbers to kind of show you who we are, what we're made of. We have a little over 5,000 students on campus, a little over 8,000 enrolled. So most of our students do live on campus. As a first-year student, you're actually required to live in a residence hall. And like Fernando was saying with UAA, we know that it's a big move up to Alaska. So when you get here, we want you to feel at home. And so you are required to live on campus for that first year. A lot of our students will live on campus all 4 years of their bachelor's program. We actually offer kind of more traditional 1-person or 2-person residence hall rooms on campus during that first year. And then as you become a sophomore, junior, senior, you'll actually have apartment style housing offered to you on campus as well. We are Alaska's flagship university, so we're the first university in the state, a little over 100 years old. And like I said, we're small. We've got a 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio, so you're really going to get to know your professors. You're going to hang out at their office hours. You're going to run into them at the grocery store. Fairbanks itself is a relatively small city, around 100,000 people, the 2nd largest city in Alaska. And so we offer that small town feel, that authentic Alaskan experience where you know everybody on campus, you feel at home, and you just get that friendly smile, that friendly wave on campus every day. And then most of our classes, like I said, are going to be fairly small. Generally speaking, almost all of your classes are going to be under 30 students in that class, mostly under 20 students in that class. We also offer a lot of flexibility with 14 online bachelor's degrees, as well as 25 other fully online programs and associate degrees. Next slide, B. UAF is first and foremost a research university. We have a number of nationally and worldwide recognized facilities right on our campus, including the Geophysical Institute, which studies volcanoes, earthquakes, permafrost, and the aurora borealis. If you are a geoscience major, if you are a natural resources and environment major, if you're a wildlife biology major, if you are an engineering major, you will get to benefit from facilities like the Geophysical Institute. You can work in them. You can partake in the research over there. We also have a large animal research station on campus. So if you want to be a veterinarian, if you want to work with large animals and be a park ranger, you can work with reindeer and muskoxen on our campus. We are home to the only research of muskoxen in the entire world. We also are the only university in the world to have our own private rocket launch site. So if you want to work for NASA or SpaceX or Boeing, and you're, say, an engineering major, you can tack on an aerospace engineering minor and work on that private rocket launch site. While the sciences and engineering are probably our most popular programs on campus, we offer pretty much everything else too. We have a number of strong business programs, education programs. We have a really thriving arts and music community on campus as well. So pretty much everything you're looking for, we do offer at UAF, except, you know, the backdrop's going to be a little bit different. There's going to be snow piling high, the aurora overhead, and maybe a surprise moose on campus that you can say hi to from a safe distance. Next slide, B. And student life on campus is really great. We are not a party school, but we are a social school. There's so much to do. We have 25 miles of hiking trails right on campus and over 2,000 acres of land. You can fish, you can hike, you can snowshoe, you can cross-country ski right in your backyard on campus. We have D1 and D2 NCAA sports. We are D1 in hockey, which is personally my favorite sport to see on campus. And we also have tons and tons of student clubs and organizations. We are a very LGBTQ positive and friendly campus. We are a relatively diverse campus. Over 20% of our students are Alaska Native or Native American. 7% of our students identify as Hispanic. And then next slide, B. And this is my last slide. So as a student from California, you'll qualify for that WUI scholarship that everybody's talking about. It cuts your out-of-state tuition in half, and it's going to save you a lot of money. You automatically qualify for it when you're admitted to UAF. No GPA requirement, no program requirement. You will automatically receive it if you check yes on your application. The application for fall 2022 is open right now, so just check yes for WUI. It shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes to complete that application. We are test optional through summer of 2025. So if you are a sophomore or higher in high school right now, you do not need to send us test scores, and we're on rolling admission too. So send us your application. And yeah, thanks so much for listening. We're going to move on to our last school today.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrew. And hello, everyone. My name is Molly Ingram. I use she, her pronouns, and I am Assistant Director of Admission for the University of Arizona. I am regionally based in the Bay Area, and my colleague Shannon Smith, she is located in Southern California. So she is your regional admissions counselor, and I am filling in for her tonight. So let's get started. The University of Arizona, we are Arizona's first university, founded before Arizona was even officially a state. So this picture that you see here of Old Main, that was our very first building on campus back when we only had 3 students in our first graduating class. Since then, next slide, please. Our campus has grown significantly, not only in size of campus in terms of the geographical location. You can see that beautiful 1 square mile in that top picture on this slide. And in terms of our student body, we do have over 36,000 undergraduate students. You'll notice the total student body is even larger since we do have many graduate programs. We have a law school, a medical school, a veterinary school. In fact, we're the only public university in the state of Arizona to have a veterinary school. So lots of really great programs. We do get students from all 50 states as well as 112 different countries. And the vast majority of our students that are coming from outside of Arizona are from California. So you'll meet people from the Bay Area, from the LA area, as well as all over the world. Now, in terms of where we're located, we are in Tucson, which is Arizona's 2nd largest city. We are second to Phoenix, and Tucson is about 100 miles south of Phoenix. It's very easy to get to campus from any major airport in California. If you're flying out of LAX, we're only about an hour away by plane. Now, we are one of the top public public universities in the West, and students come to the University of Arizona for hundreds of different degree options. The 5 that we're most well known for do include architecture, engineering, which we have 15 different kinds of, nursing, business, and our College of Fine Arts, which includes programs like musical theater, dance, film and television, and so forth. Next slide, please. Now, in terms of student life, obviously, when you go to college, you want to find a university that's going to have a really great major, a good fit for you academically, but it's also going to be a good social fit. That's something you should be looking for in your ideal college. Now, when you join the University of Arizona, you are joining the Wildcat family. We have hundreds of clubs and organizations for you to choose from. Our clubs range from academic interests, cultural, political, pop culture, religious, you name it. Whatever you want to be a part of, chances are we have an organization for you. If you are into big school spirit environment, we are part of the Pac-12 conference. So we play other Pac-12 schools like USC, UCLA, Stanford, Berkeley, and so forth. If you love cotton candy and Ferris wheels like I do, we do have the nation's largest student-run carnival, Spring Fling. That is something that our students have been putting on for over 45 years. And that's just one of our beloved annual traditions. If you like going outdoors, we do have miles of hiking and biking trails. We're not too far away from Saguaro National Park, where you can see the nation's largest cacti. So lots of really fun things to do. Downtown Tucson is only about 2 miles away from campus. So lots of really great restaurants. In fact, we have the nation's best 23 miles of Mexican food. Next slide, please. Now, in terms of our academics, like I mentioned, we have hundreds of different degrees to choose from. We are very proud to be the only member of the Association of American Universities from the state of Arizona. If you're unfamiliar with the AAU, this is an invitation-only organization made up of 65 universities in North America that are at the highest level of research activity. In fact, we spend more money in research expenditures each year than we do on athletics, despite the fact that we do spend a lot of money on athletics, being a D1 school, and we do have a wonderful honors college. In fact, our honors college is the W.A. Frankie Honors College. We just got a $25 million gift from the Frankie family to emphasize study abroad opportunities and scholarships for our honors college students. You can study anything at the honors level. It is a separate application, so definitely apply to the university sooner rather than later if you are interested in the honors college. But the application process itself, like many of my colleagues here tonight, it is a rolling admissions application. So if you are a senior, you can apply today, tomorrow, a month from now, a week from now, as long as you get that application in by May 2nd. We do not require test scores. We do not require letters of recommendation or an essay. Unless you're applying to the honors college, then you do need to write one essay and get one letter of recommendation. And when you apply to the University of Arizona, you can expect to receive an admissions decision back within 2 to 4 weeks. You'll also notice it says merit scholarships for Californians. We do have the Arizona Tuition Award Scholarship that you will automatically be evaluated for when you apply to Arizona. And that does range in value from $1,000 to $35,000 per year. Now, I would love to tell you more about Arizona, but in the interest of time, I'm going to say bear down, go Wildcats, and thank you so much for listening. Oh, and yeah, well, yes, just kidding. So this information, totally forgot I had this. That is what you need to apply, just like you need for Northern Arizona University. Those are the core courses for Arizona.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much, Molly, Ryan, Andrew, Garrett B, Tyler, Fernando, everybody. That was amazing. Thank you so much for your time. Families, you have some experts in here held captive for the next 5 minutes or so. So if you have any questions, please take advantage of this time and ask away while you have them with you. Again, these reps are here for you exclusively for the families of Capistrano Unified School District. So if you do have any questions about any of these schools or general college questions, feel free to pop them in the Q&A and we would be happy to answer them. And of course, if you don't have any questions, you're welcome to excuse yourself and enjoy the rest of your evening. And don't forget to register for our remaining events for the remainder of the week. But we definitely hope to see you in future events. And again, I want to thank our reps so much for spending your evening with us and giving us some of your time during this really busy time of year for all of you. We really appreciate all of you. I learned so much. Like I was saying earlier, I learned something new about schools every time I see a school present, and I can't wait to take this back to my students and my work with them. But WUI is legit, y'all. So look into these schools that offer that and other scholarship opportunities, because sometimes, I mean, it's looking like going out of state would cost less than going to an in-state school, right? So definitely something to consider. Okay, friends, well, don't be shy. Feel free to ask questions if you have them. Let's see. We have a question here for our reps. Will SAT, ACT scores be required for 2023 admissions? So that's for our current juniors. I think the short answer is that it's going to depend on the institution that you're applying to. Some schools are undecided at this point for juniors, right? But it really will depend on the school that you're applying to. And if anybody wants to weigh in on that, please feel free to do so.
Well, I can tell you at the University of New Mexico, if you take the ACT, SAT, it can only benefit you and more scholarship. It will not affect your admission decision. So take the test, send it to us, get more dough to help you go to New Mexico.
Thank you, Gary B. I would agree with that. If you have the bandwidth, you have the resources and the time to be able to try to test between now and the time you apply to colleges. It can only help if you have the time and resources. So you can definitely talk to the Futureology team for some more recommendations, okay? We have a question for University of Arizona. So what is the cost of attendance?
Good question. I was just about to put our net price calculator in, which I will do. But cost of attendance for out-of-state students, right now, it's a little over $37,000, not including room and board. Keep in mind that room and board can vary from anywhere the low end, $6,400 per year to about $15,000, depending on which dorm you pick. So we have 23 different dorms to choose from. Some are cheaper than others. And then another thing to keep in mind that Arizona Tuition Award Scholarship. If you have an unweighted 6-semester core GPA of a 4.0, that gets you $35,000 off of, thank you, yes, this is our scholarship chart. So the higher your GPA, the higher that scholarship is going to be, which essentially lowers the cost of tuition. Another thing to keep in mind, this is just one of our scholarships. Any student who's been admitted to Arizona, they have access to a website called Scholarship Universe, where you can apply for other scholarships. Some are even specific to Southern California through our SoCalCats Alumni Association. But I will put the net price calculator into the chat. So thanks for that question.
That was a great question. Okay, friends, any other questions? Here we go. Are there any scholarships offered at Los Angeles College of Music? What are you looking for when students apply to your school specific to vocal music? That's
Wonderful, yeah.
For you, right?
Yes, so we do offer scholarships, and they come in two forms, both academic, so just purely based on your high school transcript. We'll look for a minimum of a 3.0 GPA. If you have that or above, you're in really great standing. And independently, we also offer merit scholarships, so you can be awarded one or both. And for the merit scholarships, we'll just be purely looking at your audition material. So for that program specifically, you have to sing 2 songs, so all in the application, so no prizes on what they are. And what we're really looking for is just vocal ability and things along those nature.
Awesome, thank you. What other questions do we have, friends? Take advantage of having some experts in front of you while you can. It's not every day that you have, 6 college admissions reps at your full disposal. Any other questions?
B, let the audience know that tomorrow at 4 p.m. there will be an entire session about WUI. So, and you'll hear about the ins and outs and how it works at different institutions, you saw different schools here that offered that, and simply by applying, you may get it, or you may have some qualifications at different schools. So that's 4
right.
p.m. tomorrow.
Absolutely. Yes. 4 p.m. tomorrow. Thank you, Gary B, for that plug. We have a lot of families registered for that event already. So if you haven't registered and you're interested in how to make going to school out of state affordable, WUI could be an excellent option for you. Gary B will be there. So if you want more of the Gary B action, right, join us at 4 p.m. For that breakout session. It's going to be a great one. Definitely.
Just remember, higher ed, lower costs. That's what we're all about.
I like that. Any other questions? I'll give everybody just a few more seconds to kind of think and pop in some questions in the Q&A, but otherwise I'm going to honor everybody's time so that we can let our reps get some rest. They've probably had a very long day, and for students in here, I'm sure you want to get to homework, have some dinner, do your thing as well. It is only Monday, so I'm sure you have some other things to focus on, but we really appreciate all of you being here once again. This is just the tip of the iceberg in the college exploration experience. Please take advantage of the Futureology team if you have questions. Ask your guidance counselors or school counselors, excuse me, on campus if you need help with anything, and reach out to your college reps that you met this evening if you have any additional questions. With that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up tonight's session. Thank you so much again to everybody for being with us, and have a wonderful October. Thank you so much.